Live from WSFA 12 News, your first alert weather team is tracking severe weather.
We are still tracking the threat for severe weather here in the Storm Center. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Amanda Curran, along with Chief Meteorologist Josh Johnson, who is off scene doing some analysis right now. Are these storms moving into an environment that could be potentially favorable to see them start rotating and spinning? So instead of talking severe thunderstorm warnings, we could be potentially talking tornado warnings. Thankfully, across our neck of the woods, we are not right now. But hey, you don't need a tornado warning to get damage. We've said it time and again. Here's a live perspective again, full screen of wind damage at Huntington College right now. So a similar scene could probably be found in some other spots across our area. So this is why we're giving you that first alert heads up so you can be prepared for this. And even though we're not currently under any tornado warnings, and we tell you during a tornado warning to get in your safe place, I think these severe thunderstorm warnings need to be taken very, very seriously, and this is why. Here's Montgomery as a whole in North Montgomery County, and you can see, yeah, we got a couple of pockets of heavier rain, but the severe thunderstorm warning is still off towards our west. The main line itself that's packing even more of a punch hasn't even made its way through Montgomery yet, and we're already seeing damage. So this is what we're going to have to watch as we head throughout the next couple of hours. There's a lot of different counties currently that are under a tornado watch, and it's a PDS watch, John. That's a particularly dangerous situation. So we've seen several storms that are capable of producing major damage in Mississippi, some of which could come into Alabama. Embedded inside this line, we're talking straight line gusty damaging winds, and thankfully since we've been tracking this for the past several hours, we haven't seen any major rotation in Alabama, which is great news because the atmosphere points to all signs saying the ingredients needed for rotation and tornadic activity is there, and we really haven't seen it, which is really amazing news. Notasulga, we just told you about that 68 mile per hour wind gust, and the difference between sustained wind speeds and gusts is gusts are usually short bursts, but sustained wind speeds have been clocking in upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour along this line. Tuskegee, the Franklin and Tallahassee area, you got a whole lot of heavy rain, and we have really good radar information because the radar site is right there. The closer you are to the actual radar, the better information we're getting, ground truth on what's happening at the ground. Now, the further out you get, the data's still good, but it's a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. The big part of this is probably going to have a severe weather threat is probably out towards the west. It's now to the east of I-65, so Fort Deposit, Greenville, Georgiana, McKenzie. And we issued that first alert weather day to give you a heads up that strong and severe storms likely for a vast majority of our area this upcoming Easter Sunday. Latest information from the Storm Prediction Center. They've released what we call convective outlooks, basically just saying, will we see thunderstorms? And if we do, to what degree, to what magnitude could they impact you? Now, we are still 3 days out with this event, so we're finally starting to get a little bit of data from them, and obviously still very similar to the forecast we've been telling you about for the past couple of days. Just to give you a general idea, though, this is not solely an Alabama setup. This is for the Deep South in general. We have a medium to high-end risk for not only northern and central and south Alabama, but a lot of Mississippi in the bullseye of that, parts of Arkansas, Louisiana as well, and strong storms could extend all the way into the Tennessee River Valley and then back into Georgia as well. Closer to home, though, I think where we could see the most impact, northern and western portions of the state look to kind of be that bullseye right now, but don't necessarily see pink and red and say, okay, if I live in the red shading, that means it's not going to be as bad for me. Medium and high risk days this far out with this much confidence are still something that you need to take very seriously, whether you're in the shaded pink or the shaded red. So do keep that in mind. We are going to be talking about the potential of not only just tornadoes, but potentially strong tornadoes that are capable of being on the ground for a long period of time. These don't look like quick spin-ups that maybe last a few minutes or for a few scans. So this is definitely something we are going to continue to monitor very closely, and we want you guys too to now use this time ahead. This first alert heads up is giving you plenty of time to think about what you're going to do on Sunday. What kind of plans do you have? Are you going to potentially maybe try to get those done earlier in the day, maybe get them done earlier in the weekend, Saturday? Or are you going to continue to think about your plan on where would you go if you were going to be somewhere, maybe at a family member's house or at your own house, or you need to find an alternative location? Now is the time to start asking those questions to yourself. Am I ready for something like this on Sunday? And I hope you guys are thinking about this and taking it seriously. We're going to continue to fine-tune the details, but as of right now, tornadoes and wind damage are definitely going to be major impact. And also these could be big hail producers as well. So we'll be watching it. But I think the only thing that is good out of this forecast, if we had to find a silver lining, timing wise, this is not a long duration. We're talking hours upon hours of severe weather. I do think this is probably going to be a quick mover. We're opening up that time frame around 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon and having it open until about 3 o'clock in the morning Monday. The closer we get to the upcoming weekend, the more accurate data we'll get, the more confidence we'll have on exact timing and impacts. But here's just a general idea of what we're watching for that first alert weather day on Sunday.